Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to our English news program, coming to you from Canal, Algérie. To the headlines. A qualifying training of English teachers ahead of introducing it in primary schools is the main issue of a three-day meeting chaired by the National Education Minister. Fires in the east of the country. 89 injured are treated in Al Qala Hospital while humanitarian aid continues to flock the regions. Souq Ahras is a case of point. A promising start for the national football team with a large victory over Palestine in the Under-17 Arab Cup being held in Algeria. We wrap up our news bulletin from Jid Al Qisir Park in Al Awana, an ideal destination for holidaymakers looking for relaxation and entertainment. Those were today's headlines. First in our news, the new academic year will be marked by the introduction of English in primary schools, as instructed by the President of the Republic. The Minister of National Education, Abdel Hakim Belabed, chaired on Tuesday here in Algiers a three-day national meeting dedicated to the preparation of a qualifying training for English teachers of the third primary year. The Minister expressed his firm conviction that this new subject will have a prominent place in the Algerian educational system, confirming by the way that this project will be crowned with a great success. Let's have a listen to the Education Minister, Abdel Hakim Belabed.
Pursuant to the guidelines of the President of the Republic, Abdel Majid Tebboune, to introduce English in the primary schools starting from the upcoming academic year, we have worked out a special program and special scholar books due to the paramount importance of this universal language. This move will for sure allow Algeria to be in line with the latest scientific developments.
This is one of the major reforms that the national educational sector has undergone since independence. Rania Al-Bahri tells us more about the main changes of this vital sector over the past 60 years.
During the Council of Ministers held on June 19th, the introduction of the English language from the primary cycle is effective since the start of the new school year. This is part of the overall reforms aimed at building an educational system adapted to changes in the world and to embridle technological evolution. Among these reforms, there is also the imperative to carry out the revision of teaching programs according to defined objectives, based on school results with a deadline for implementation of 2 or 3 years. It is, however, prohibited to carry out the revision teaching programs during the school year. Similarly, the weight of the school bag was a major concern for both parents and students. The President of the Republic had ordered the launch of consultations between actors of the sector concerning this problem, in order to come out with a unified approach and finding immediate solutions for the pupils. To this effect, as for this year, nearly 1,600 primary schools across the country will be progressively provided with electronic tablets. The improvement of the schooling conditions, including school transport, particularly in grey zones, in addition to the training of teachers, and the improvement of the socio-professional conditions of the sector's professional. The revision of the special status of teachers are also important points of the education system's reform. The President of the Republic has instructed the government to put in place adequate mechanisms for the care of autistic children. The sector also attaches particular importance to the mathematics. There will be indeed a revision orientation processes for mathematics and maths technical students, in particular with the creation of the higher schools of mathematics and artificial intelligence in 2021. Algeria, which has enshrined the principles of free education for all, is working to build an educational system that will be a real engine of change and progress.
Ahead of the partial local elections slated in 4 municipalities of Tizi Ouzou and 2 others in Bjaya, preparations are in full swing in these regions to ensure the success of this major event. To this effect, all the human and material means have been mobilized by the local administration, while the expectations of the residents remain very high to give a new impetus to their everyday life and spearhead a sustainable development. Pursuant to the provisions of Article 11 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, the prosecutor of the Republic at the Court of El Tarif informs the public that the preliminary investigations of the National Gendarmerie Services, with the help of the scientific police of the National Criminology Institute, led to the arrest of a suspect in setting fire in Kadiyat Lasil that spread to the forest of Gargour and the village of Ain L'Khyar, to the garden of Barabtiya, village of El Malha. And this concerns the so-called LS, accompanied by both LF and BH, who did not report the crime. The parties have been brought before the Procuratorate of the Republic, the Court of El Tarif, and a judicial investigation has been opened against them for the offense of intentionally setting fire to forests, buildings, and dwellings, and arson leading to the death of persons and causing permanent wounds and disabilities. As a result of the fires as well, 2 people are in intensive care in Bouzid Ammar Hospital in El Qala, but they are expected to recover shortly thanks to the medical staff. The latter treated at least 89 serious cases admitted in the same institution. Rania Al-Bahri has the full story.
All the victims of the last forest fires that affected Tarif province were taken in charge on time. Among the 12 injured admitted to intensive care, only 2 remain in hospital. The state of these 2 patients is stable, but we prefer to keep them in intensive care to avoid any complications. The fire victims received appropriate care as soon as they arrived to the hospital. Care and optimal conditions were assured to them. All means were mobilized in this hospital for the reception of the injured, particularly the severe burned persons, in order to provide them with the necessary care. The medical and paramedical personnel spared no efforts to relieve the victims, and thanks God we managed to take care of all of them. The doctors are there. All of them were mobilized 24 hours a day for the care of the patients. All hospital staff were mobilized. Our duty as doctor is to see our patients recover and return home healthy. 89 serious cases were admitted to Bouzid Ammar Hospital in El Qala province. Thanks to the efforts and competence of the medical staff, all these cases were taken in charge on time.
Donations and solidarity caravans continue to flock to the most hit regions. A case in point, Souq Ahras, the illustration of national solidarity and cohesion. More details in this story taken up by Najah Tayyar.
It was 11 p.m. last night when the Solidarity Caravan arrived at Souq Ahras, coming from Tizi Ouzou, containing foodstuffs and medicines that the inhabitants of Tizi Ouzou collected in solidarity with the inhabitants of Souq Ahras affected by the wildfires. We thank all those who helped us to organize this solidarity operation. They came from everywhere. We are united people and we want to transmit this message. People helped with what they can, even if what they give is minimum. Sometimes it is all they have. Yet they did not fail to contribute while saying, "Give this to the inhabitants of Souq Ahras." The Solidarity Caravan, made up of several ambulances loaded with medicines, medical equipment and paramedical products that were mobilized quickly to the affected families in Souq Ahras. We are in Souq Ahras to lend a hand to our brothers hit by this tragedy. This is our duty. For their part, the inhabitants of Bord Baririd and Bissa showed their support for their brothers in Souq Ahras as well. From the richest to the simplest employee, all the inhabitants of Luanza contributed to this action of support. They tried to ensure the first caravan and a second in the direction of Zarouri municipality in Souq Ahras. Solidarity is what characterizes our people. Whether we are from east or south or west like me, in the end we are all Algerians. United Algerians in difficult circumstances, the same solidarity is always omnipresent.
The Algerian football team kicked off the Under-17 Arab Cup being held in the western provinces of Mostaganem and Mascara with a 5-0 victory over the Palestinian side in the opening game of the competition. Algeria tops Group A along with Sudan with 3 points each, while Palestine and the United Arab Emirates remain at the bottom of the standing following their defeat. Units of the Sahrawi Liberation Army have conducted new attacks against positions of the Moroccan occupation forces in the regions of Agrara Farsik sector of Mahbis. The day before, the SPLA have intensified their bombings against the occupation forces in the region of Tawarashid south of Adriga sector. A young Palestinian fell martyr on Tuesday morning in Nablus city. Muhammad Ariyashi was injured 2 weeks ago during an operation by the Zionist occupation forces in the north of the occupied West Bank. 3 other Palestinians were killed. Concerning gas prices, this Tuesday they are on the rise following the latest Saudi announcement. A production decrease is expected to maintain the market stability. The Brent barrel for October deliveries stood at $97.28. Known for its beautiful beaches, Jijil also offers lush nature sites. The Qisir Animal Park in El Awana is a perfect example, sheltering animals from the continent and elsewhere. The space combines relaxation and discovery to the great delight of visitors, especially during summer season. Najah Tayyar.
Located in a luxuriant nature, the Jijil Park is very active during the summer season, a space of a great attraction for the summer visitors and holiday makers coming from Jijil and elsewhere day and night. The tourists have made this place their favorite destination. It is a family space. There are playgrounds for children. It is also an opportunity for us to discover animal species that we do not know. Personally, I discovered animals from Africa and elsewhere like Australia. The particularity of this park is that it contains a zoo and a play area. I am very happy to be here. I saw animals that I did not know. There are also play areas that we highly appreciate. There are many entertainment facilities such as bumper cars and boats. I let steam off when I come here. For visitors, the site represents a real breath of fresh air in this province. The beauty of this touristic site has attracted many summer visitors fleeing the rush towards beaches. It is indeed an ideal site for relaxation and rest amid the fully green landscape.
That was it for our English news program. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.